What is up? What is up, y'all? We are on day 41. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that, the days are honestly just going fast for me. Like, honestly, like, counting the days, studying, going to work, just counting the days and studying. Things are just moving so damn quick. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. Literally, we're already a month in, and we're about like a month and a week, I believe now, right? A month, if it's been 10 days, almost 2 weeks. Need 4 more days for that. That is crazy. About to go into 2 months. What? Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. You said, well, what is up, Snake? What is up? What is up? I gotta make sure that I end up, you guys already know the deal. I always am a little bit delayed, but I need to send out this stream, put it in the Discord, do whatever I gotta do. I hopefully can be on until 5 is what I'm hoping for. But we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see, but today's my day off. And normally on my days off, you already know the deal. If you've been here before, I like to hop on a little bit later in the day. And yeah, and we ended up posting that website build yesterday, which I thought was super lit, super crazy. And y'all, I finally ended up, well, for one, I'm happy with the website. I think the website was fire. And I think, like, I'm just so happy with it. I keep forgetting that I gotta upload this on my Instagram. I can't believe I have 382 videos on my YouTube channel. I just saw that right now. How do I have 320? And I know I had more too because I deleted like a good amount, or not deleted it, but I put it on private. So that's crazy. I've been putting in the work on this channel. And I've only had this channel for about, I want to say, how do I delete this? I think for about a year now. Apparently I made the channel in August, but I don't think I started using it until December. He said, how is it going? I was about to go to sleep. Oh, that's terrible, man. No, but it's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. Currently, actually, I do want to say is that just yesterday I ended up taking like a quiz on the hardware section for the CompTIA A plus because I was a little confident. I was like, let me just see, like a little practice quiz, and then I failed the fuck out of it, and I was like, oh yeah. So now I feel like today I do feel a lot more discouraged. But I think what that taught me is like, don't ever think too highly. Cause you might be wrong. You might just be wrong. And so I was like, damn. I thought I was really gonna end up doing like good on that quiz, man, and I screwed myself. But then I took another couple quizzes after, and I realized that a lot of me mistaking the answer, it isn't that I don't know the answer. It's like, for instance, for the troubleshooting questions, they want to know what's the first thing you'll do, but what bothers me is that most of the time all of it is right. So sometimes it's hard for me to think like, okay, what's the first thing that I should do? Do I reset the computer or do I do a diagnostic test? You know what I mean? It's like, which one would I do? But then I have to think like, if it were me, I'd just reset the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think that would be the answer. But it's like I start realizing that they don't really care about the actual answer. Sometimes when it comes to the troubleshooting, it's like what is first, and then they'll say something crazy like, "What would you do last?" I'm like, brother, all these are right though. It's just what do you mean? Like now I gotta sit here and do the math of like, well, not the math, but try to figure out how I would do it in what order. And I don't even know how I would do it. So now it's like, I don't know. It goes crazy. So I ended up bunking it, but I didn't fail. I passed, but it was like a 65, like a 60 to 65. I currently don't like that passing grade. I want it to be a little bit higher. And then, like I said, I took another one, which I ended up getting that to 84. So I was like, okay, now I feel a little bit better. But what I noticed where I kind of struggled with when it came to at least the hardware section, it was the power connectors, which I literally told myself I didn't need to learn it because I felt like by the time I started to build a computer, it would make sense to me. But then a lot of the questions were on that, but then a lot of the questions were on the PCIs, which I didn't even know had that much importance. I still kind of don't even understand it. So I'm like, damn, I need to do, because I thought a PCI was just a cover. Like I thought it was just, you just put that in there, it covers it. I didn't know a PCI actually did something. So now I'm like, hold up, now I gotta review. And I know I took notes on it too, so it's like, how would I forget that? But most of the questions that they were giving me were about PCIs, and I'm like, bruh, I don't know. Like, and I guess some of them right, but I know I was guessing. So I knew like I needed to do a deeper dive on that. I think like I said, the power connectors and the names of it is what confused me. I feel like if they showed me, if they were like, what is this? and then I could be like, oh, that's USB-B, I mean, a USB-B, or this is a USB-A. So I feel like some of those questions started to confuse me because I only know it based on like seeing it. So I was just like, well, yeah, PCIe, yes, yes. And for some reason I was struggling on that. I don't know. But I know that's like an easy recovery. Like I just gotta realize that it's actually deeper than I thought. So a lot of it is really just like kind of touching up on it. But yeah. And I just realized too, because this is normally like my sleep shirt, and I realized that I think I wore this yesterday. I wonder if I wore it 2 days ago too. I have no idea, but I normally put on like a certain outfit for sleep because you know how some people have like pajamas. This I don't really have pajamas. I just be trying to get any outfit that I feel like I just throw on. But no, yeah, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. I don't know. I think it was just yesterday I had this one on. He said, "Oh, trust me, it is easy." No, yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why I was like, that's why I was so mad too, because I'm like, I know the answer to these because I took notes on it. I just didn't expect them to ask me. That was my problem. I didn't expect, like, I just didn't think it was that deep to ask questions about. So I was like, hold up, I actually got to freshen up on this because I got some of them right because there was certain things I was like, what PCIe are you gonna use for this? And I knew it. Like I already, like I just knew the answer. But damn, they started going deeper and deeper. I was like, hold up. I was like, give me a second, bro. What the hell's going on? So you just build 2 to 3 computers by yourself and you will have every knowledge. No, yes, that's what that, but that's literally why I've been saying that, because I was like, I feel like I know enough about the hardware to the point where the rest of it needs to be when I build a computer or when I buy a computer, take it apart, put it back together, whatever, because then that is going to allow me to understand the connectors that are inside. And I still believe that that's true, but I just was so discouraged because I was so confident that like I would have like aced it. But so I did get a couple of the PCIEs right, but it was like maybe 2 that I ended up getting wrong. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick when I took that quiz. But then there was just like a couple more things that were like I said, a lot of it was kind of me overthinking it though. So that's why I don't really want to say I did too bad because I just overthought the question. But at the end of the day, if I did that on the CompTIA A+, I would fail. So it's like, I gotta make sure I don't overthink it, but I'll be sitting there, I'm like, wait, this could be the GPU, but it could be the CPU and the RAM. But then it's asking me, like, which one would I do first? I'm like, I don't know, because it could be all of them. So that's when I started to, like, overthink it, and I'm like, I forgot most of the time, just reseat the RAM is normally the issue. Next should be the GPU. But it was things like that, where it was like, ugh. They were kind of annoying. Like, I should have got it. You say I have a weird thing. People wear shorts, night suits, like that. I always sleep in my jeans. No, yes. Well, I feel like I don't always sleep in my jeans, but sometimes I will. Sometimes I will. Like, but I'm not the type of person to where it's like, okay, I have jeans on, let me take them off and put sweats before going to sleep. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm like, if I have jeans on and I'm going to bed, I'm just going to bed. But unless it depends too, like what I was doing. Like if I was at work, then maybe I would change because I'm like, my job is like dusty. But if I was just out for a little bit and I have my jeans on, I'm leaving the jeans on. Like I'm not gonna take this off. That's too much. That is too much. But okay, so we gotta get into a little bit of studying. So far we were doing the functions of the OS, but that's why I started to feel discouraged because I'm like, shoot, if I well, granted, I retook the test or a different type of test and I passed it, so it made me feel more confident. But then it makes me think like, damn, should I continue to dive deep on the OS if I'm clearly still struggling with the hardware? But I think I'm just going to wait until I build a PC, or at least take apart, put a PC together, and then I'll make my judgment on whether or not I need to like spin the block. But either way too, sometimes like we learn things, but I feel like when it comes to an exam, sometimes you have to study how an exam would ask the question rather than knowing the answer. Because they can ask the question in a different way that could like change it all up. So I feel like for me, I kind of want to study because they have this website. I'm going to show y'all here. I'm sure y'all already know the website. Let me go show y'all real quick. They have this website here that has like these practice CompTIA A+ exams. I don't know how like up to date they are, but even if they're not up to date, it's still, I feel like, pretty good practice that you could take. And there's probably different places where you could, pay for certain good tests. But then they also have things here that I was way more interested in, that it kind of tests you specifically on things like the printer quiz, malfunction or multifunction devices, power supply, CPU, BIOS. So I'm thinking like these are probably the ones that I would want to take. specifically because it's like 12 questions, and I don't know if they're the same 12 questions. But they have like a core 1, core 2. I think these might be like older for different years. But the point is that some of it probably still has like some good quality stuff that you could take these quizzes and try to get yourself to at least understand how they're going to ask certain things and stuff like that. So I was super excited to kind of stumble across this website, which I do plan to get to this within this hopefully 2-hour stream. But I do want to finish like the functions first, but we're gonna end up taking these quizzes. I know a lot of the questions I do not know, especially with the way that they asked it, because you already know I've been studying power supply. I'm gonna go show y'all one of these. Like I wouldn't just know this, like, of the voltage range for most residential and commercial power outlet. I think I know it because when I first took this, I just selected the right answer. But, and then I believe when it comes to the standard outlet, I don't remember for Europe, like, why would I need to know that? But that's not the point. The point is, is that there's going to be a lot of questions on there that I do not know. And the point is for me to kind of get it wrong and then be able to reteach myself it and see if I could ace the quiz after taking it a couple more times. And then hopefully we could possibly find different websites that are quite similar. So if y'all know any type of websites, definitely leave them down below that have some good quizzes for CompTIA A+ studying. And then on top of that too, I am going to, real quick, I want to jump back and then I'm going to immediately go to studying because I am yapping. I am going to finally tune in to Professor Messer. Now, I've always wanted to watch his channel, but I just feel like I have such a hard time learning through a video. But when I actually looked at his video, he does do power slides, or he does like, is it PowerPoint slides or whatever. So I feel like that makes it a lot more easier for me because I'm a big like visual or reader type of learner. So even though he's going to be talking, at least most of it is really going to be like on a slide. But the only problem is with me documenting this on YouTube, I can't really show his YouTube channel. I can't show his YouTube channel video. I can't even play the audio. So what I'm probably thinking is when I do it, I'm just gonna probably have something on the screen, like maybe some website, but on the side, plug in my earphones, watch it on this phone over here, and then kind of take some notes and let y'all know what I think about it, because YouTube can just copyright it and then I'm gonna be screwed. And or they could just turn off my monetization and just give him whatever I make for the video, which is literally like 20 cents, but that's what they end up doing. You see, you have some PDF files. My professor shared it. Hey, that's what's up, man. If you definitely wanna wait, is it for IT support? But okay, let's go jump back over here. So we're still currently in this section. We're almost done though. We're literally on the last part, which is the protection and security section. So you got to take notes on this about the OS. But then I kind of wanted to make this stream be more focused on CompTIA A+ hardware section a little bit later when we get into it. Oh wait, I don't have my camera on. It's related to cyber security or networking, I guess. Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Where is my camera? Because I need y'all to see my handwriting. Perfection. Start virtual cam. Come back here. Perfect. Alrighty. So we got protection and security mechanisms. We got to make sure we get this down pat. But yeah, once I get down with the functions of the OS, I do kind of want to spin the block a little bit on the hardware, but not too hard. Just because I feel like you were saying, Snake, that pretty much I will start to understand it when I do touch a computer. So I will wait a little bit until I am able to unbuild and rebuild the computer, kind of see exactly how everything is, how it looks, how to install things, and maybe then I will start to understand why certain things need to be where it's at or what it's particularly doing inside of the PC. And if I don't, then that's when I'm gonna try to go back to the deepness of the hardware. But I do know I know enough hardware to where I could do the actual job. You get what I'm saying? Like, I know enough hardware to where I could do the actual job. I just don't know enough hardware, I guess, to where I could pass the CompTIA A+ section. That's my issue. You said files are huge and I never read it. Oh, okay. You never read it. Damn. So it's just buy 2 to 3 old companies OMC PCs. Not gonna cost you more than 50 to 100. No, yes, that's definitely going to be the goal. And he said, well, you have 2 cameras. Nice. Yes. Yeah, I don't know why for some reason I couldn't see that comment on my phone, but then it just popped up. But no, yes, I do got. Well, one of them is my phone. And I basically just connect it to. I forgot how I did it. I think I just downloaded OBS Studio. I had to do something on my laptop that allowed for like the OBS Studio thing to pop up. I don't know, it was weird. Cause I had to download something that allowed a certain section to pop up to where I can connect it with my phone. And then I had to download an app on my phone. So now I'm able to use this. The only thing that sucks though is that it kind of uses the camera in OBS Studio, and that's what I don't like, because if I'm using my iPhone, I want to use my iPhone's quality. But no, yeah. So that's definitely what I'm going to do. But you know, it's around Christmas time. So it's difficult for me to be able to drop that much when I'm already dropping probably more than that, because for Christmas for people. So I'm like, I'm probably going to have to buy that computer a little bit later. Maybe when January comes around. Who knows? We'll see. Or laptop. I mean, not laptop. Actually, I do have a laptop hidden away in my drawer that I would literally never use again, because it's so outdated. It's a Chromebook. And I was thinking about it, like, why don't I just open that up? But I feel like laptops are just so much more harder. But it's still going to be some good learning. Like, I could do it. I just think I should wait. I feel like I should do a PC first. And then end up doing the rest. But no, yeah, man. It is crazy with how much that I'm learning. And then I guess how much I thought I knew that I didn't. But it's just the way they ask it on the quiz. Like, I know how to do the job. I feel like I would do great on job. Especially because if I'm going to be coming in, they're going to expect me to kind of not know anything anyway. But mainly it's like, I'm really just going to need to pass that CompTIA, because it's not even just the CompTIA A+, it's specifically the fact, like, if I can't pass the CompTIA A+, then I'm not going to have confidence in being able to pass the networking, the CCNA, because even if you know how to do it, the quiz is just so different. Like, the exam is so different, man. It's crazy. You said, let me see. You said, so the course I have is called EC Council Certified Ethical Hacker. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's more like cybersecurity. But cybersecurity, I want to say like the beginning part of cybersecurity is, it begins with IT. Excuse me. And then eventually it starts to go down like the crazier side of things. Which I would love to do cyber. I would legitimately love to do cybersecurity. I think my only thing too with like learning this stuff is like, I think I'm someone that does low-key need a course. Because that was something that I was looking at, and that's why I'm like, I'm just going to have to give Professor Messer a shot. Because a part of it is kind of like, I can't really tell what I need to know. And I feel like you can only know that through a professor or through a teacher. Because, you know, with Free Code Camp, at least it was like self-guided, but it still had a little bit of its own teaching. Like, it was telling you what you needed to know pretty much, and you kind of could see it. I feel like with learning IT, unless like I'm working at a certain job, it's like it's best to have guidance, so they can say, okay, you don't really need to know this shouldn't pop up on the test, but it's good to know in a job setting. You know what I mean? But these websites, they don't say that. So it's like you're kind of trying to figure out, do I need to know this? But you're someone who doesn't know if you need to know it. So I guess I'm just gonna have to do Professor Messer, man, but hopefully I can learn through his videos. It just sucks because it's not gonna be, you know, it's not going to look good on stream because I can't really show y'all nothing, but it's best for me to really learn rather than just trying to, or see at least, you know, get that type of insight pretty much. So I as a person who has opened every single appliance and whatever you could think of, TV, CPU, monitor, washing machine, literally everything, I would say don't go for laptop. It is boring and really not helpful. Having a senior really matters. No, yes. But the only good thing though with laptops, because the reason, like, I feel like laptops, yes, they're boring, but I feel like the majority of people though, they like, especially, I would say the majority of people I feel like buy laptops over PCs, because obviously they're a little bit more cheaper. So I feel like if you're going to learn how to fix something, I feel like a laptop and a phone are probably the biggest thing you should learn first. Well, not first, sorry. But that you should get into learning at some point, because I think that's where, honestly, most of the income would come from. Because everybody has a phone. Everyone has a phone. So phones, I feel like, are just number one. But then two would have to be laptops over PCs, because people don't even... And then PCs, I feel like, are just so easy to understand after you do it a couple times. I feel like laptops, you know, it starts to get a little bit, because things start to look different on the inside. And so it's like, damn. And everybody be buying laptops. I'm like... So at some point, like, I'm going to have to dive into phones and laptops, but I feel like not as of now. I do know that they do have a lot of laptop and phone questions on the CompTIA A+. So I do need to eventually study for that when I plan to really like take the CompTIA A+ serious, which I am doing now. I don't know why I said it like that. I do take it seriously. But yeah, there's a lot of mobile stuff that pops up and laptop stuff. I think Professor Mercer, for like the second quiz, he really dives in like crazy for laptops. I was like, damn, like I really didn't want to touch laptops, but guess I'm gonna have to at the end of the day. So yes, every laptop inside is different. Also, opening of every laptop is different. Some open from top, some from the bottom. No, yes, it's crazy, and that's why it be bothering me like on the CompTIA, because there was like a question about where something was on a laptop. Swore on everything it is on the left, but I guess they were talking about like, I forgot exactly what the question was, but it was talking about something. I guess maybe what's more common. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why would I know that? At the end of the day, if it's on the left. If it's on the left for my computer, it's on the left, man. But it was like what was most common, and I think it was the top or something. I forgot exactly what it was about, but I was like, bruh. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to dive deep into that at some point. But I feel like phones are really the best ones to do because, man, everybody got a damn phone. And everybody's breaking their damn phone. Like, or doing something. But the only problem is, though, is with phones, is like if you break it to a certain extent, then there's no saving. Or if there's like certain problems, sometimes it's like there's just no saving it. I wonder if anyone had a phone long enough to where it just stopped working, like just for no reason, and then they got it repaired. Cause I don't think I've ever had a phone long enough to be like, this phone has a hardware issue, change the hardware. But maybe there's some people who've experienced such. But I feel like everyone just gets new phones anyway. Everyone gets new phones pretty much, and then I guess it can't really get there. I gotta do in data theft, perfection. They said a phone is difficult. No, yes, I've heard a phone is quite difficult, but I feel like it's just gonna be super, super good to end up learning at some point. But that's the thing, like, because I feel like I'm really interested when things are more hands-on. Like, I don't really, because I know for help desk or IT support, a lot of your troubleshooting is going to be from the operating system or, in software. But I feel like I've just been so interested in the hardware side of things. Like, I love being hands-on and fixing things or doing certain stuff. And I was just like, bruh, like I just know I'm gonna have so much more fun. And I think it's gonna be, because I love the hardware side of things, I think it's gonna be a lot more easier for me to like hands-on do it. Not necessarily pass a test on it, but to hands-on get it done. So it's like, oh wait, I started writing the wrong thing. Oops. Oh wait, no, was I just track systems efficiency? Oh yeah, then I started writing something weird. I don't know where I went there. And identifies bottlenecks. Perfection. But no, yes, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if I were to work somewhere, I would love to do, like, a part of me really wants to get a job at, like, repairing stuff. I think there's, like, this shop somewhere that's down the street for me that literally just does phone repairs, laptop repairs, desktop repairs. Like, they have just a bunch of different technology repairs there. And I was like, bro, I would love if they would let me get in there, even if it was like an internship, just to get my hands on fixing people's stuff or watching, but in person, and like get that type of teaching, which I do plan on eventually hitting them up and being like, yo, can I come by a couple of times? We'll like see what y'all do, or try to get like a actual job position there and show them that I'm really willing to learn. But that's a task in itself. I think that's like the only spot around here that kind of does that. But that's how I know everyone be going there, though, because that's like the only store. That is legitimately the only store that does it. You said, phone is difficult. Why are you writing this? I'm currently writing the additional functions here of the operating system that I think it says beyond core tasks like process and memory management. So this is just like the additional type of stuff. So bammers, we just ended up finishing though of the operating system. So I think we took a lot of notes about the beginning of an operating system. I forgot which website it was. But we just took that, and then now we ended up getting into the the deepness of it a little bit. It didn't get that deep. I feel like the pictures actually. Oh, I thought I clicked it and it did something. I think the pictures got a lot more deeper than somewhat of what this was about here. But it was definitely some good stuff to learn, at least for the operating system, which is going to be great. Fragmentation handling. This saved me. This question was on the CompTIA, or not the CompTIA, sorry. This question was on the practice quiz I think I took on ChatGPT, and I remember seeing this, and I aced it just because I was like, fragmentation handling, stop playing. Stop playing. File attributes. Oh, there was a couple things too for the file system management. I'm not too sure if I'm good with the file system management. I think it depends on how they ask the question. A lot of it really depends on how they ask. And they keep asking me networking questions. I'm like, I literally keep telling you I don't know nothing about networks. I literally know nothing. Well, no, yeah, so we finished this here. I real quick want to see, because I took a picture on my phone, exactly what was next after I learned the foundations of the operating system. They said how applications run on the OS. So that's how I ended up getting to the functions. Then it says what a process is and what a thread is. Memory stack versus heap. So basically just diving a lot more deeper. Do they have other websites here that I could click on like they did previously? No, security and protection is the only one. So let me go and look that up real quick for later. We got to do operating system. Learn how computer runs programs. You already did OS basics. So next, learn how applications run on programs. So how apps run on programs. Did I already take a note on this? Did I already take a note on this one? How operating? Actually, you know what? No, because I forgot. I'm gonna jump over to Professor Messer because I was just reading about some of the things that he was doing. I do need to see, though, real quick. Let me open this and then let me kind of look up Professor Messer. Let me just click it because, and we're gonna. I don't know why my video always pops up, y'all. It just won't stop. And then we need to do Professor Messer. We need to do. What was I looking up again? Oh yeah, CompTIA A plus 1101. I just wanted to see. There's training courses here. Is this the newer one? I think that might be the newer one. Courses. Oh, stop, bro! Before you get me copyrighted, man. Oh, I think this is the newer one. He should put the year on it because this is a study group, and then he does another study series again. So I think this is the year. Yeah. So he immediately starts with laptop hardware for the first one, which I don't want to get into yet in mobile devices because I kind of, then he does the introduction to networking, so we're not really there yet. If anything, I would have to do, these are connectors, storage devices, RAID. Oh, I think it's because the operating system is on the other one. Oops. Hold on, how do I get out of this thing? What the hell? How do I get out of this thing? Alright, let's go back. Yeah, as I say, operating systems is here. Oops, I did not mean to click that. Hold on, stop before they copyright me. I'm not trying to do any of this. Alright, let me click this. Here we go, because I forgot he's going to get into that detail. So what are your plans for 2026? This is probably the first time in my life I'm actually thinking about planning next year. Literally my plan, well, I for some reason, I've always been such a huge planner. But I think my plan for next year is to really try to just stack up on some certifications. Well, I don't know if you mean about like IT support. But the goal is to stack up on some certifications. So here's where we get into the operating system real quick. Hold on. Alright. And then they teach Linux. Hey. Okay, so we're going to start with the overview video. I'm going to save that here. I just want to have it on my phone somewhere. So yeah, so next year, hold on real quick, let me jump here because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do it. If I'm going to watch Professor Messer on my phone, I don't think I could let y'all hear it, so I'm trying to see. Or maybe what I could do is open up my notes thing here. That'll be good. We did video capture, add the source, perfect, and then we kind of just do one of these. Damn, that was quicker than I thought. Can this dirty wire get out of my phone? I have like the dirtiest wire right now. This is one of my old wires that I have to use. So I'm thinking maybe dropping this. I think chat pops up over there, so I'm gonna drop this here. And so you can probably see me taking notes like that. Maybe that might be the wave. That might have to be the wave. But we'll wait for a second. So let me talk about my plans. I'm sorry. Planning next year, I want to stack up my certifications because I want to get the CompTIA A plus. Then I want to get the um I'm thinking CompTIA A plus, and then for the beginning of like network, which is technically the beginning of technical support, but a lot of people use it for the beginning, like before networking plus. I want to get my CCSP, and then I think I want to get the networking plus, something like that, and then get my CCNA. 'Cause that's a little bit more difficult, and then kind of just I'm just trying to search stack. I'm trying to search stack, especially because I guess I kind of just see next year to be more of my learning year. And I do really want to get to the point too where I'm also like by next year I really want to have some sort of experience. Even if it's like independent or freelance work, but I feel like I kind of do that now. I don't really like to call it freelance because it's not like I'm booked and busy, but I have done independent work for some people for free. Obviously, it wasn't like they paid me, but I just did a couple things that were definitely like IT official type of stuff. So I feel like next year is really gonna be like my main like learn, stack certs, and hopefully be able to land a actual job, whether it's part time, full time, or whatever the hell. I guess that's really the goal. Hopefully I could end up doing that though. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. So I gotta go and see because I want to see Professor Messers, but then I'm realizing if I do that, this phone right here, I think the best thing for me, no, because I can't even read the transcript. So I'm trying to think because this phone right here, I'm gonna put that back on the screen. If I forget that I use that to read chat, so it's like if chat is chatting, I'm not gonna be able to see nothing unless what I decide to do is this. Actually, yes, I think this makes sense. Actually, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay, so I can see chat on my laptop. Y'all, of course, y'all see me. And then I'm gonna try to get at least one Professor Messer video in which I do want to start with not necessarily the introduction to the operating system because I feel like I already know that. I mean, maybe I don't, who knows? I feel like I already know that, so let me go do a little bit of my research. I think this is O1. If I'm doing operating systems, it makes sense for me to start in the O2. So operating system overview, file systems. Oh yeah, that I was wondering. I'm like, there was something I was looking at the other day and I screwed myself. Alrighty, so anyways, gotta go sleep. Nice talking to you. Yes, nice talking to you, man. See you later, Snake. Good night. Good night. Hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a good rest. Alright, so I'm going to hop a little bit into this. So far, right now, Professor Messer, he is talking about, I do want to put the subtitles on because maybe that will help me. But he's talking about file systems and exactly what is going on here. It's more of like a deeper dive into file systems for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I believe. So I think that is going to be quite helpful. By the way, if y'all are new here, man, I've been documenting this for about 41 days. Not even about, sorry, my fault. Actually 41 days, which is just insane. But super happy to be a part of it. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive into the file system. And hopefully Professor Messer can teach me a lot more. I actually do need my earphones. That's the problem. I gotta go and get my earphones first. Give me 1 second, y'all. I should be quick. I just gotta make sure I can hear this video. Ready? I'm back. I'm back. Give me a second. Real quick, y'all. I want to show you something that I ended up buying. Y'all see this? This is a SpongeBob SquarePants like soup bowl. It comes with chopsticks, which I love eating my soup with chopstick or noodles or pasta. Love to eat it with chopstick, and it comes with a spoon. And I was just like, bruh, like this is dope as hell. I was so happy that I ended up buying that. But alright, let's get back into this CompTIA A plus studying. My fault, my fault, my fault. My fault. By the way, make sure you end up leaving a like as well. So I gotta go take notes. So we got file system. And then the file system says before data can be written to the partition, it must be formatted. Okie doke. So that's something I wouldn't have really known. But like I said, I gotta see exactly what he's saying. Because sometimes he's probably going to be explaining like this isn't particularly on this, or he might say this is the one you need to know, right? So I'm gonna plug in my earphones and get to listening. Let y'all know what he's saying. So format. Damn, he does talk a lot more than he puts on the screen. Oh, actually, you know what? I think now I just kind of understood how he does it. So he's just basically explaining what he's writing, but in a more clearer way, which hopefully I can end up doing that with the subtitles. But what he's doing is with file systems, he's saying before the data can be written to the partition, it must be formatted. Okay, because that was pretty much what he was saying, but he said it in a different way. And I was like, what the hell is going on? But I wish he had made like some courses online that is like specifically for reading. Like I know he has a website, but they're not too descriptive. It kind of just explains what the video is about. But then you have to click the video to kind of watch it and understand it. So I wish he made like a website in particular, because I mean, I'm sure all the stuff he's putting on the screen is important, and he probably wants like each note to be taken from that. But the only problem is he does add a lot more with his words, and I can't really listen to it quite often. But yes, so let's go with the foundation here. So build, oh, oops, I kind of wrote that weird. It's okay. Build the foundation. So the next part that he was getting into here is operating systems expect data to be written in a particular format. So I know that for Windows, because I obviously have a Windows, so it kind of just clicked for me, is that basically for Windows, I think it's NTFS. Now FAT32, I'm not sure which ones that applies to. I don't know if NTFS applies to any other ones. For some reason, I just remember Windows because, damn, that's what I got. Or expect data. Oops, I put expectation. Expect data to be written in a particular form. Perfection. And you also know what's crazy too? A particular format. Can I please spell? And I honestly forgot. I forgot what the hell I was about to say. That was crazy. My head's all over the place. Like, I'm ready to watch Stranger Things 5. I haven't watched it yet. Don't spoil it, please. I'm ready to watch it. I do want to rewatch the whole entire season. And I was just going to, like, I was about to say something serious to y'all. And then I just immediately started thinking of watching that show and eating, too. Because I'm starving like a mother. Alright, so let me read a little bit of what he's getting into. Because he's talking about the most important thing. Let me see if I can read the transcript. Maybe the transcript. Oh, he also has practice exams too. I wonder if they're free. Probably not. Let me see. Let me see. So where is he at? Damn, where the hell are we at? We just started? I'm about 22 seconds in, so I'm right here. So let me start that. Okay. This file system is important because, okay, here we go. So now I gotta write this part down as well. So it's saying this file system is important because this is the structure that will be used for all data that is written inside. So I like that. I like that. I love when we get like a good, clearish note on something. So file system is important. I can't wait to eventually get onto the job search a little bit later today. Thank you for tuning into that video, by the way, the one that I uploaded about the website. I thought that was super goated, super nice. Damn, I don't know. I feel like this video being at the bottom right corner is kind of like in the most weirdest position. Am I right? I feel like it'll be better over here, but if y'all do start chatting it up, I'm gonna be screwed because that's where chat goes. Yeah, let me do it something like that. Maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe that's a little bit better. Alright, so we got file system, and then what we gotta do is important, because I gotta make sure I remember these things specifically when it comes to the CompTIA. And also too, y'all, we're gonna be taking a little bit of a CompTIA exam quiz on, I think, it's like on that website called the free online CompTIA section. So that's gonna be super cool to end up doing. And I'm sure y'all probably ran into those quizzes and ended up doing them previously. I know some people said to use that, but not to like stay on it because they don't refresh the questions. It's kind of the same questions and stuff like that, but get used to how they're gonna ask. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's structured is the structure. I was just thinking about like acting, right? And I was like, with acting in a movie, that must be like super like difficult. You know what I mean? Especially with how long sometimes they film. Why didn't I think of this? Perfect. Get that damn wire out the way. It's pissing me off. But I was like, damn, it must be super stressful. It must be super stressful. But I'm sure they, of course, they probably love doing their job and doing what they, wanted to do. They wanted to be in movies. I'm like, I feel like for me, I would want to, but I would have to like really do one movie and then kind of see like, could I continue? That'll be used. So we got to go for all data that is read and written. Perfection. By the way, if you just joined, we're taking notes on Professor Messer's thing that he got going on. Sorry, his course online. Taking notes on that. Read and written by this operating system. But I cannot show you guys that screen because it could get copyrighted. So I'm just going to be watching it as I take some notes. If y'all got any questions, definitely go and ask away. It could be about anything. I do not mind. So let's play this video now. Okay. So it's saying as you use different OSs, you'll see different file systems are used for that OS. So I don't really need a note on that one. I just want to see exactly which file systems are used for what particular OS, if that makes sense. Because I kind of already knew that. So then that's fine. So let's see. Okay, so FAT32. So you do call it FAT. I thought it was FAT. I thought I was weird for calling it FAT. So FAT32, NTFS, and exFAT, I guess, are examples of file systems that are compatible across all three of them, Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. So that's actually a really good note because I only thought NTFS was only used for Windows. I didn't know that Windows could basically use all the other ones. So that's a really good, important note for me to go and take just in case if this ever popped up on any type of quiz at some point. So there are so let me do some file systems that can work basically across all OSs. So I'm glad that he said that because I actually had no clue and I probably would have never known. This is why I need this damn, I need like some guidance. Professor Messer, he's a good one. He's a good one. So cross systems, and then we got to do, for example, we got to do Windows. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. I don't know why I was getting into Windows. I need to do FAT32. Then we need to get into NTFS. Then lastly, we got to do the exFAT, I guess. You see how that works. Are some examples of file systems that are compatible. So I'm just going to write compatible. You don't got to write the whole entire thing, but just get to the point, and also got to write it the way that I would understand. So it's compatible across Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. By the way, if y'all are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button because I am currently going to be studying IT support until I end up landing a IT support role, or until I end up landing as a network engineer. It's going to be a super fun journey. I hope y'all end up following along. It's going to be just, I can't wait. So we got Mac OS. If you're using Windows and the file system that you're probably using is the NTFS or the NTF file system, and this file system was effectively an upgrade to the FAT32. So I'm wondering, but am I still able to use the FAT32 is what I'm wondering. Because technically, if you're saying, for example, FAT32, NTFS, and exFAT are examples of file systems that are compatible across Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, I'm assuming that the Windows, even though they naturally use the NTFS, am I able to go back to the FAT32? Because technically it could be compatible, at least. So I guess we got to see kind of how that goes. So that's that note. Let's go on to the next here. For examples of file systems that are compatible. So if you're using Windows, then the file system that you're probably using is the NTFS. So let me do like Windows, because I already knew this, but it's just going to confuse me, especially being on the same paper. So I got to make sure. So Windows file system is more than likely the NTFS, so perfection, or the NT file system. I didn't know that there was another one. So the NT. So which one do I have? I probably have the NTFS. I feel like mine's is a little bit newer, so I'm assuming that would be the one. So let's keep going. Oh, you know what? I just realized they had more examples on the screen, but that's not too bad. So FAT32, let me take that note real quick because it said FAT32 and NTFS are the most popular. So that's a good note to take. I was wondering why I ended up on my website doing like a versus type of section. So then that's great. That is great. So since the file system was effectively an upgrade, where exactly am I at? Oh, it's the same file system. Okay, that's what confused me for a second. So that's the same file system. It has extensive improvements over the FAT32 and quotas. So we got to make sure that I end up doing that, write that part down. And then we're probably going to leave this on pause for now because I do want to get a little bit into the job search tonight because there was just so many applications that came out yesterday and I want to see if they've been filled and or have they added even more. That's what I want to see. But y'all, I don't know. I feel like I need to I hope I can get something. I'm gonna tell y'all though when I do start to apply. Currently not applying yet because I gotta make sure that, if I do actually land the position, I want to make sure that I'm actually going to be free. And because I'm currently at one of the worst schedules on the planet, the only thing I could really apply for is more or less part-time positions because my main job has just the literal worst schedule and I can't switch my schedule until maybe like February or March. So then that's when I'm like, damn, that's going to screw the hell out of me if I want a position because, I'm only going to be able to, I'm going to have to be picky because of my job time. So then that sucks. So we got to do file support because I simply can't write. So we got file support and then lastly security and recoverability. So I love this. Recoverability, perfection, bammers. So let's go and end up opening up real quick. Give me 1 second. I want to open up these job applications so that we can end up looking at some of the new applications that they put out there, which is just crazy. I like looking at hey, what is up, Spanky, I guess. What is up? What is up, my guy? I think Indeed, I like to look at Indeed's jobs offers because I feel like they oh no, not Indeed, sorry. I meant to say LinkedIn. I love seeing LinkedIn's job offers because I feel like they just have more offers, but it's probably because some of it could be like low key fake. But either way, though, I think it's super cool. Did I just say? Oh, I thought it said Western Aircraft. I thought it said something completely different. So let's go and get into this job search here. We're gonna turn this camera off. Oh, wrong camera. Okay, wrong camera again. So right here, we're gonna turn that camera off. We're gonna jump over here. Turn it off over here now. My fault. But we're about to get into some job. Where the hell? Okay, right here. Some job offers. Perfect. Here we go. Now, real quick, because I need to exit out Professor Messer's video. Hopefully, I can remember where I was at as I'm there. Because I'd rather see chat here on this phone, if anything. But how are you? So currently, this one was uploaded about 9 hours ago. And we are on time. No, I'm just kidding. But be among the first 25. So this is in Atlanta, Georgia? Right? I'm tripping. Atlanta, Georgia? Right? Doesn't that go together? This is an entry. Whoa, what the hell was that? Okay, this is an entry. Oh, wait. No. I do not want to see that. So we got 9 hours ago. Be among the first 25 applicants. So we scroll down. It says, I found your videos yesterday and subscribed. I'm a couple weeks into the web dev journey doing the Odin project. Hey, this is what's up. That is what's up. No, yes, I ended up really going like crazy with the web dev journey, but I finally I think got to a point where I'm happy to be at that I do want to kind of reroute. I mean, not reroute. I want to say like do like a beautiful pivot into the IT realm, but I do plan to continue to use my web design skills and I do plan to document a lot of the web design journey as well. But I feel like for me, I am a little bit more focused on IT, but I love the web design journey. And also too, by the way, I love when people come in here and they talk about making websites, is because at the time when I was making websites, I had no idea that you were able to put AdSense on websites, which of course you need to host a website for about 6 months and then put multiple websites hosted as well under your name. I mean, not under your name, but on the same like website. And I found out that you could dead put AdSense on it and you could get paid for your websites. Obviously, it depends on how much traffic you get to your website. So it's not like you're going to get paid hundreds. You might even start with like 2 cents to 20 cents. But the point is that you're able to grow that by continuously building more websites, trying to get more traffic. It's kind of like posting YouTube videos. It's like try to make a website that literally people would potentially search up, and you might end up getting some good traffic and posting it in different places too. Like, some people will be like, they go to Reddit. Reddit is probably the best way to do it too. It's like, oh, how do I click blah, blah, blah. You could sit there and like make a website on what someone asked and send it to them, and that might just direct some traffic, man. It's crazy. Said IT is really cool. That's awesome for you. Yes, thanks. Thank you so much. Yes, because IT, I think it's just, for me at least, I personally want to get into network engineer. I think it's a pretty good career if you don't mind working in a career. I feel like IT is just, it's pretty good, and it has a lot of potential in different directions. You could be a system admin. You could be a web designer. I mean, web designer, sorry. It's because you mentioned... It's because you mentioned web design, my bad. You could be a system admin, you could be a network engineer, you could do IT infrastructure, you could build PCs, sell PCs that you make, right? I feel like there's just like a lot of things you could possibly do as an IT person, or in that realm of IT, that I love the idea of it. First of all, how is this entry level? See, this is what I'm talking about. Apparently this is entry level, right? But they're getting paid, and this is why some people like end up giving up on applying to jobs, because when they see applications like this, as you can see over a day ago, 200 applicants, and this is apparently entry level, and they're offering to basically pay you about 40 to, not even actually, I think that's 50 to $60 an hour. Something like that for an entry level position. Granted, it is on site in Pleasanton, California, but this just can't be real. It just can't be real. And if it is real, I'm happy for the person who gets it. But the thing is that this is what gives people like certain false hope, because they'll be like, I see a lot of job applications for IT support and their pay ranges up here, help desk, and then so they get afraid to shoot for experience, even though that other job is probably going to pay you $15 an hour. It's like experience is always key. Experience is always key so that you could eventually get paid more. It says on-site and remote, so I see why a lot of people ended up applying, because they're probably assuming that they could fight for some remote jobs, which isn't bad at all. They like large SAS environment, Okta, Google Workspace, Zoom, Slack, Kanji, Intune, experience administrating on Okta, Zoom, and Google Workspace. Okie doke. They do have some good little things going on here, but there's just no way. Granted, it's California though, so maybe like, I don't know, man, I don't know. That's just insane to me. Let me read here. This is Western Aircraft. Let's see how much. Okay, yeah, they're not going to tell you how much, and they're not even saying either about what the actual job pay is. So that's not bad though. So maintains full ownership of tickets through its life cycle and incident management, assists with the maintenance of various policy and procedure documents. I like that. So thanks for doing this. Good work. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So it provides first call resolution or triage or something for all calls, provides reports to an agreed schedule, ensures accurate logging incidents, service requests, access requests, and changes. Okie doke. Completes a diagnostic, forward tickets requests to third-party vendors. Okay, I like this. A minimum of 1 year of experience, but then why can't they just say that it's entry level? Sometimes I just be thinking like, I don't know, man. Some of these could be a little bit scammy. It says prefer degree in IT or related field. Prefer the ITIL foundation, which I swear on everything when I looked this up, didn't they say it was outdated? Or am I tripping? Isn't this outdated? I always wondered. Maybe it's not. Damn, you can enroll for about, $2,000 for what? To learn? Weekday studies guaranteed to run from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. goes right into my job Right into my job, yes. Oh, this is in online. This one isn't. Oh no, they are online. Never mind, my fault. Then they only got 8 to 4. I needed like a 6 to 2, but that would never happen. This is 12 p.m. to 4. I like they shortened the hours, but at the end of the day, oh, this is better. But I would, I definitely would not enroll. I definitely would not enroll. But none of these hours match me. None of them match me. Pass a pre-employment drug screen. Oh, sorry. I thought for some reason I thought that was gonna say something else. For some reason, this is hybrid in New York. Long Island right here. This isn't bad. 25 applications. Long Island's in New York. Hmm. Maybe I never knew. Maybe I'm thinking of a different place. So we got about a couple of different things here. So jobs responsibilities may vary on client needs. Diagnose and resolve technical problems related to computers, printers, which I can't wait to get to, y'all. Because by the way, look at this over here. I know that these quizzes over here, some people don't like them that much because they don't give, new type of questions. But they have a printer quiz. You click it. It's about sometimes it's different. The other one was 12 questions. This is 21 questions. You can make it specific, or you could just take a full blown CompTIA A plus practice exam. And there's about 22 of them, and obviously, it doesn't have absolutely everything, but it's still a pretty good website to kind of learn how people are going to document their or how the CompTIA is going to ask questions. If you guys have a different place to go to though, definitely let me know. There's another website where I wouldn't mind paying, but I don't really want to pay because I'm gonna have to pay for the CompTIA A plus. So it's like I would prefer to take these practice tests and probably ask ChatGPT to make some stuff up at that point. So they got Owl Clarkson. So this one was, I remember seeing this one. I'm surprised it didn't get more applications. Either people, like I said, are upset about this pay here, but that's pretty decent. I feel like that's actually pretty good for an IT support specialist position, especially entry level. You know what I mean? So I don't understand why some people don't apply. Oh, I'm forgetting because I think this is in person. That's why. So I guess no one lives in Michigan. That might have to be the wave. We'll move out to Michigan. This is help desk and desktop support. Specifically with help desk and desktop support, I feel like you could try to ask for a remote position, but it might not be offering that. But you can definitely apply and see what they say. Definitely apply and see what they say. So this one says in particular, where's it at? Stapleton is full-time position overview. IT support professionals. They have technical support for end users with computer hardware and mobile devices. And then software, of course. Deliver excellent customer service. Love that. Document and track. Love that. Password resets, user setups, application support, hardware troubleshooting. I actually love everything that they just wrote here because this is probably typically what you're going to really do when it does come down to a lot of the basic technical issues. These are probably literally the most common. And I just love that. I actually love that they wrote all that down because these are really the most common issues. So escalate to level 2. Because my biggest thing is like, I feel like I know what to do in a job setting. It's just when it comes to the CompTIA A plus, like that's obviously a little bit different. So I feel like for me, I need to focus on this CompTIA A plus. You got the ticketing systems, on-site, reliable. Damn, so they don't want occasional to drive between corporate offices and job sites within the Denver metro area. So I guess this is probably more of like a field position. I actually kind of wonder though, because if I were to look up field positions around me, it says it's 42 applications, it's mid to junior role, and it is also remote. So I'm surprised that there's not that much more applications here either. Maybe, oh wait, you know why? Because it just doesn't look right to me. At least to me, it didn't look right. This one's a contractor role for Instacart. Obviously, this has to be, especially, it's mid-senior level. I'm like, $52. But alright, they put mid-senior level. Surprised a lot of people applied here. It's like, you can kind of see where people live at this point. Because if this is like, about 200 applicants and it's in person, I'm assuming everyone who applied to this lives there. That's crazy as hell. You can really see where a lot of people live. This is the first 25, and where like a lot of people are really pursuing IT at. You know what I mean? We got 70 to 80 a year for an entry level position. That's quite difficult to believe. quite difficult to believe, but enable effective collaboration within an IT team by providing clear handoffs. So I like that, I guess. Contribute to the overall success of the IT function through the additional responsibilities as assigned. Okay, I do like what I'm seeing here. I do necessarily like what I'm seeing. Okie doke. There's also about Anaconda. I like this. This is pretty good pay. I think this is for AI, right? Anaconda is AI. Be at the center of AI. They have configure accounts and access for Google Workspace. Basically, that Active Directory stuff. It's collaborate on creating and updating documentation on system setup. It's damn near all the same type of things. Just really comes down to your knowledge. They want you to be proficient in the Google Workspace, Office 365, Okta, Slack, Zoom, Jira. Wait, what the hell is Okta? Because I thought Okta was a ticketing system, but I think Jira is. So why would they want you to? Oh, okay, I guess I'm just wrong. Never mind. I guess it's to secure people. I got that wrong. I was like, what? Kanji, 1Password, Cloudflare, MDM, IAM, Jira, JSM, and Confluence is required for effective ticketing. I wonder why would you use multiple ticketing systems? Is it better that way? Or is it that they just want you to be fluent in one of them because it makes them feel like you pretty much are, you know what you're doing pretty much. I can't believe they have all these applications. I kind of want to look up real quick. I know this is going to be a little bit of a reroute. And I'm going to jump here for a second when I look this up because sometimes it likes to do too much. So let me do, I want to see if I looked up web design. Where's it at? A web developer, sorry, web developer, because I think designing is a little bit different. I kind of want to see how much job applications pop up. Let me do front end developer. I want to do front end just because that's what I probably would do. And I'm just going to, oops, I almost put join. Let's search that up. So they do have a couple. Not a lot of people actually apply. Let's go back. You said Okta is IAM. Okay. So that makes sense. So where are we at? Okay, so this is supposed to be a junior front-end developer. I don't know if none of these are in person, but I just want to see. Because, like, I low-key just want to see how many applications there are out there. So it's 2 to 3 years of hands-on front-end experience with HTML5, CSS3, CSS frameworks, Tailwind. This is kind of crazy. They actually do have a good amount. Netflix has a full-stack software engineer open. Wow. This is insane. But you would have to literally just apply all the damn time. I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who try to take those. I never thought to look on Indeed. I was so like sad at one day because I was like, damn, it won't work. Obviously, people were gonna apply to be a full stack software engineer for Netflix. People they want this. Damn, 100 to 720K a year. There's no way that's real. That's what they're making out there? Well, it is for Netflix, so it makes sense. It's an internship though. What? Unless they're trying to say that your potential is that you could hit this, but apparently this is an internship. Skilled in design. Oh, I'm not showing y'all. Oh, wait, no, yes, I am. Oof, I thought I forgot. Self-driven, architecture, build, contribute. But apparently it's an internship. Yeah, Credit Karma. 30 applicants, front-end software engineer, all levels. I'm surprised not a lot of people apply to these positions. Maybe it's because they're looking for specific jobs. Maybe? I'm not sure. 'Cause I personally wouldn't care. Or maybe they're in person, but they don't really say if they are, though. This one says full-time, mid-senior level. This one looks a little bit more realistic. I like this one. He said, do you have a degree or any certs? No, I do not. I'm actually currently trying to work for the CompTIA A+. About 200 applicants here. That's crazy. I'm currently trying to work towards my CompTIA A+, but I'm doing a little bit of a job search. I know we're on front-end development, but I'm just shocked. This one's software engineer. I wonder, is there people who actively apply on Indeed to like all of these? Like, I wonder if you apply to all of these, would you eventually land something? And this is full-time or part-time remote position. I like that. That's pretty dope. But it's probably gonna be, they're not really trying to mention the pay since 2 hours ago. Like, do people sit here and apply to these and actually land these jobs? You'd be an associate. full-time associate. And I wonder how, like, entertainment team. Okay, now we're somewhere else. What the hell is what the hell is the entertainment team? Am I dancing? For Haven, it's part-time employment. What the hell are they doing? Online order filling. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. What, you just stay at home and you just fill people's. Wait, actually, hold on. It's part-time mid-shift closing. Is this remote? I know this is so random. I'm sorry. I just went down something else. You got a designer here, full stack software engineer. I really wonder if people really do be applying to these and just kind of they just don't really work it out for real. They have front end Oh, sorry, I thought I meant front end. Like I'm like Walmart. I mean Walmart, of course it does because they have a website. You know, merchandise assistant for Macy's. That's not a bad pay if this is real. That's actually crazy. They have the hella jobs on Indeed. But I understand that some of these could be, I mean LinkedIn, but some of these could be fake. So I understand that, but okay, now let me jump back. I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on. And what we're going to get into though is because I do want to get into a lot of the CompTIA A plus studyings. So what this is going to do is make me take a quiz on, I believe, the power supply. I don't expect myself to even get remotely any of these right. And I don't really care to get them right. Because I don't know a lot of these, especially with the way that they ask them. So my goal is to just kind of go through it, try to answer it to the best of my ability, expect a failing grade. But the point is to get to some of these questions and pretty much be able to take down a couple of notes on how a CompTIA question will be asked. I do want to use a different notebook though, because this one's for my studying. So let me see, because I don't know if I've written in these. I haven't. This is really big, so maybe I could make this about my CompTIA. But I wanted to use that for my storybook. What about this one? Oh, this one's kind of ugly. I'm gonna use this one instead. Wait, which one has more paper? I think this one has 180 sheets. This one has 200, so whatever. I'll use this for my story. I like to write books, y'all. I love notebooks. I have so much over there. So we're gonna make this be my CompTIA A plus studying specific questions. Well, this one's just going to be the study on just whatever, just anything that is IT. So I think this is going to be super lit. We're definitely going to fail the hell out of this quiz, but that's okay. I failed it the first time, and I guessed a lot. Well, I got a 60. I didn't fail that bad. Or 50, actually. I think I did. I did get a 50. So I don't know why I'm starting with the power supply. Let me see if there's a better place to kind of study at. So we're going to do CompTIA A plus study questions, and we're just going to go crazy in this book with whatever question it is. Take it down and try to learn it. So keep being consistent. Good job. Thank you so much, Marvin. Thank you so much. But I do plan on getting a degree for IT eventually. I just want to learn a little bit about some of this stuff. I don't know if I should start. Should I start with the power supply, y'all? I'm trying to see, like, what is the basic one? Like, it seems like they have the basics of networking, basic of mobile device hardware, but where the hell is the basic computer hardware device? Oh, they have specific ones, too, for storage and RAID. I like that one. I don't want to do a full CompTIA A plus practice quiz. I just want to see, I like how they just have some quizzes for some of these things. Oh, core PC hardware, troubleshooting. First of all, that's already too much to read at this point. But that's why I feel like I would fail. That's literally would be something that I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that on the quiz and I'm gonna be like, nah, this is too much. I could start with CPU. They don't even have GPU questions. That's strange. Fine, I guess I will start with the power supply. I do plan to fail. I plan to fail. So let's go power supply questions. And let's see if we can end up doing good here. So we got number 1. I don't know if I should write them all out. I feel like I should, right? It says, which answers below is standard voltage range for most residential commercial power outlets? Actually, better yet, let me take the quiz first. Because I think they let me see after. So we're going to go 1. I think it's that one. But now when it comes to the standard one in Europe, the standard voltage range used for power outlets in Europe, I don't know. I feel like it has to be more, because why would it be the same thing? I just don't know if it's this or this or this. But it's okay. We're just going to go. We're going to keep moving forward. A power supply's operation can be adjusted to the supplied voltage either by using a manual voltage selector on the back of the unit or automatically by the device. Power supplies equipped with a manual voltage selector are referred to as a fixed input devices, while power supplies offering automatic voltage adjustments are known as auto switching. I honestly don't know this answer, but I'm simply gonna go with true, just because that was it. Just how could you lie about that? How could you lie about that? Let's see if I got that right. So which type of electric current is supplied to most of the internal PC components? Which I always get this confused, but I think I know the answer. Because I know it's AC or DC, but I believe it's DC, but I always say AC, or it's vice versa. So I could be wrong. I'm not too sure. I don't know. Which of the following PC components use circuits that operate at voltages of 3.3? How the hell would I know that? They said do two. I don't know if it's RAM slots. It can't be optical drives or case fans. I just don't think it would. I don't know if that voltage is high. I feel like RAM slots, but could it be the NVMe2, or do you think they'll need more voltages? Or maybe the graphics card would need more. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to have to take the L on this one. Let's see. At least if we get one right, I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. Which of the PC components listed below operate on the 5V voltage rail? What? Oh, would this be on the 5V voltage rail? I mean, if I put 3.3 for the RAM slots, it could be graphic cards, but then it obviously can't be RAM slots, so it would have to be the USB ports. I feel like CPU needs more, maybe a graphics card needs more. I don't know. I could be just so wrong. Which of the following PC components typically draw power from the 12 voltage? Okay, now this is getting higher. I'm assuming if it's 12 graphics card, maybe? Maybe the PCI expansion? It can't be USB, because if I pick 5, what was the last question? What was the last question? I don't know. Because a part of me was thinking RAM slots again, but maybe not. I mean, no, a part of me was thinking the USB port. So I feel like I probably got this one wrong, but it's whatever. The point is that we're probably going to get a lot of these wrong anyway. It's a select 3 that apply. I don't know. Let's just go with that again. Who cares? We got to get to what the answer is so that we can learn, because obviously we don't know it. So we got modern ATX motherboards use a 24-pin power connector. Some power supplies feature a 20 plus 4-pin connector to maintain compatibility. Both 20-pin, 24-pin motherboards. The 20 plus 4 connector can be used fully assembled for the 24-pin motherboards with the 4-pin section left out. I think that's true for 20-pin motherboards, yes, because I think that's why they make them like that. I remember watching a video where you could split, I think, a 8-pin or 20-something pin into... It's 8? I forgot how it went. But which of the devices listed below would be required for a load balancing setup where supplied power is split between multiple power supplies that automatically share the load and provide backup in case of a power supply failure? I would love to say dual, but I feel it says multiple, and I feel like dual, it just means 2. Maybe a redundant? A standby UPS, I don't even think makes sense in a Manix PDU. Yeah, because we're talking about power supplies. Oh, wait, I think yeah. Is a standby UPS a power supply? I don't even know. Maybe it's just like the name of something. But I think it's that one. It says, in a modular power supply, the cables can be detached and reattached as needed, providing the flexibility to only use the cables required, which can reduce cable clutter and airflow within the computer. I think that's true. The power output rating for the power supply, yay! I think it's wattage, right? Not voltage. And then when selecting a power supply with energy efficiency, they gave me a really easy question there. I'm happy about that one. In mind, the most important factor to consider is the 80 plus certification. It's 80? I thought it was 90. Maybe I'm tripping. This program rates power supplies based on their efficiency at various load levels, ensuring that they meet a minimum efficiency threshold to maximize energy efficiency. Okay, what's the question? Damn it. It is advisable to choose. Okay, so these certifications indicate that the power. I think it's just true. There's too much information for this to be false. Oh, we got the first one right. Damn, it was the last one. I had a feeling. But why would I need to know the power outlets in Europe? Like, are they trying to be funny? Or do I need to know that for an actual CompTIA A plus power supply quiz? Alright, so let's look. So we got this one right. For some reason, this just felt right. It felt right, but I didn't know the answer, so I'm still gonna have to take a note on that. Obviously, take a note on this one. This one, I'm a little confused at what it's saying. I just knew it was spitting facts. I just knew it, so that's something too. Sometimes when you get the answer right, you still need to make sure you study it. And make sure you flashcard it too. I got my flashcards. I'm gonna pull them out. I gotta make sure that I take these seriously. Then I got things right that I didn't expect to. What the hell? Hold on. So we got this right. We got what type of electric current is supplied to most of the internal components? The DC. Okay, yes, I knew I got that one. Never mind. Then we got which of the following PC components use circuits that operate on 3.3. I just guessed. I knew RAM slots had to be one of them, but I guessed for the NVM. But okay, we got that. I could have definitely messed this up because I almost switched my answer and I almost went optical drive and case fans. I don't know why. Which PC components listed below can operate on a 5V voltage rail? Okay, USB ports. I got that right. I almost switched that answer. Oh, I missed one. I had a feeling it was mechanical parts. I don't know what made me think if I picked USB up here. In my head, it was like one of them was right. One of them was right, but I should have known. Modern ATXs, yes, I remember that one is true. Hey, we got this one too. Which of the devices listed below? I honestly would have thought dual power supplies. I'm happy that I chose redundant. I just felt like dual just means two. So I'm like, when it's saying multiple, it just didn't make sense. Unless multiple can count as two, but I'm thinking like 5, 6. Like, obviously, dual wouldn't work. In a modular power supply, the cables can be detached and reattached as needed. That was right. The power out. Oh my god, I did way better than I thought. Goes by watt. So I got an 86. That's not bad. But we need to get them all right. And we need to be confident. No, I'm just kidding. Just starts getting on myself. I should have known it all. 83 isn't bad though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably going to fail a lot more. Because I think the only reason why I got a... Wait, what? Which one did I get? An 86 or an 83? It says success ratio, percentage secure. Okay, so an 86. Oh, probably because, like, they probably are marking the ones where I clicked right, though. But I'll miss some, maybe. But about an 86, and I think the only reason why I got this high was because I actually took this quiz, I feel like, yesterday. And I don't really remember anything. But I feel like maybe that could have helped me. Because maybe I've learned some things. But that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But the only problem is like, with this website, though, is that even though this is a power supply exam, this is like the only one. Unless, actually, hold on. Wait, no, I need this. I almost clicked out. Oof. That would have pissed me off. Let me go to Exam Compass, I think is what it's called. Because they might have... Bro, no. Bring me home. Alright, they might have more as you scroll down. Yeah, as you can see, they have like motherboard power supply again. So they do have some more, but these are more like back in the years, I think. I don't know when... Oh, no, it's a Security Plus. Never mind. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Because this one was Security Plus, this one's Networking Plus. So I guess... Wait, but then what the hell is this? This is Core 2 practice questions. What the hell? I've definitely seen 2, and it's throwing me... Okay, right here. So this is Core 2, and then Exam 1 again. I don't know why they do another Exam 1, but they do have another power supply quiz, I guess, but that's it. I'm probably gonna have to look it up on Google to see if I could find some more. I'm not upset with this, though. I just think the best thing to do is take a couple of notes on these. So I'm just gonna do the standard, and I'm probably only gonna write the answer, right? Not the A, B, and C. I feel like that wouldn't make sense. So just write what the answer is, and then, so I'm basically going to put the standard voltage range for most residential and commercial power outlets are, and then I'm going to put that, so that could probably get me to understand. Even though I got it right, just because I know I low-key guessed it. And sometimes when you guess things, it's like you could guess it right now, but you might guess it wrong later, so it's best to try and remember and get that answer, especially with some flashcards, and go crazy. I'm really trying to make sure that I remember a lot of these things. I know we kind of moved on a little bit to the operating system, but I also just got to make sure that I get this down pat. I'm so happy. I'm so freaking happy. I did pretty well on this quiz. And it's to the point where I don't want to take another one because if I when I fail these quizzes, I get so discouraged, but I always got to remember that at the end of the day, in all honesty, I didn't know any of this. Like I don't remember being taught any of this, which is why it kind of makes me think maybe when I was looking up stuff for hardware, I probably was really just focusing on how to build a computer rather than focusing on what type of questions are going to be asked on a CompTIA A plus. So I can't get too upset with myself. So I put the standard range for most of them is, I'm going to do like a dash, is 110 to 120. I'll always remember 120, but man, if they put 120 to 140, I could eventually get that wrong. So that's why I got to remember 110 to 120. VAC, and then yeah, on to the next. I don't know why I would need to know the standard in Europe, but just in case, I don't know. Standard in Europe is just, I'm just gonna write it down at this point. I'm gonna just do it real quick because I don't understand why, unless this was made in Europe or something, like what's going on. But the standard voltage range in Europe, I wonder, does that, like, why do we have different type of voltage ranges in our power outlets? Or used for power outlets? Like what's the difference that they got that we don't? Or whatever. Or are we like reserving energy or are they like beasting their energy? Like what's going on? Like which one's better? I'm assuming if you can have more power voltage or like more range, it's probably better, but I wonder why we don't do that in the US. I could be wrong. So the standard here is 2022 240. I don't know why I said 2020. 220 to 240. FAC. Perfection. I'm gonna have to like underline these answers. I'm gonna be like, what am I doing? What am I talking about? Let's go to number 3 here. We got a power supply's operation can be adjusted. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm gonna send this to ChatGPT and they need to make this a little bit more easier because why would they never mind. Let me reread it. A power supply's operation can be adjusted to the supplied voltage either by using a manual voltage selector or a selector on the back of the unit or automatically by the device. Okay, actually never mind. It's actually not that hard as I thought. I think it's just big. So it kind of makes you feel like, okay, I might not understand it, but we get it. We get it. So I like that. So let's go with the PSU. So operations. Thank y'all, by the way, for tuning into this live stream. So if you are new here, make sure you end up hitting that subscribe button. I'm currently going to be documenting every single day of me trying to become a network engineer or just an IT support specialist. And hopefully y'all just enjoy the journey. I'm going to be showing literally everything that I do, every certification I go for or I'm currently studying for, as you can see on screen. We're studying for the CompTIA A plus, and I'm just taking y'all along the way every single day. So some people, they're used to YouTube channels who just kind of post about their achievements and or probably do a couple of live streams of them studying and then boom, they just have the certification. Like no, like I'm going to be sitting here and showing y'all every single step of the way. So if it takes a minute, it's going to take a minute. If it takes shorter, y'all are literally going to see everything that I do in this process of learning. And I also have really good edited videos where I try to put out my creativity, specifically about for IT and a little bit with my web design as well. So definitely make sure you guys tune in to all of my content. I'm very consistent. I think, if you're ever looking for a YouTuber that's gonna always kind of have something there for you to watch, I'm that person because I do it every day. So we got power supplies equipped with a manual voltage selector referred to as fixed inputs, while these ones are referred to as auto switching power supplies, which I literally have never known. And then we got to go right here. I would have never known the name. It just looked good. It looked good. That's all I could say. So offering automatic voltage adjustments. Oh wait, did I already? I think I messed up. On the back of the unit by, oh yeah, I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I put power supplies. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, my fault, my fault. I was like, I definitely jumped a little bit. I meant to do equipped. We're almost there. We're almost there here. Equipped with a manual voltage selector is called a fixed input. Damn, can I spell for 1 second? A fixed input devices. I like that. While the ones that offer, so while there's power supplies that offer it to be automatic voltage. First of all, wait, hold on. So if there's a manual voltage, you're telling me I have to click a damn button or something? And what am I doing? There's a selector on the back, but while an automatic voltage are known as, my fault, auto switching power supplies. I love that. So auto switching power supplies. Perfection. And that is true, of course. And then we're going to the next one here. Which type of electric current is supplied for the most of internal PC components? So I got to write this a different type of way here. I guess I'm just going to put most internal PC components electric current is DC, or they use DC. Or the type of electric current that most, okay, yeah, let me write it like that. The type of electric current that is supplied, perfection, there we go, that is supplied, whoa, what am I doing? Oh yeah, to most of the internal PC components. But yes, man, like I just simply can't wait. I just love so much of this journey, and I feel like every day, like I get so hyped to like go on live, and I get so hyped to record YouTube videos like right after this if I have time. Like I'm gonna record this YouTube video that I planned like earlier this week to go and film. Like I just love the idea of content creation. I think it's just super fun to just sit there and kind of create something, especially to create a storyline. I think it's just super dope because you guys are just following, as of right now on live stream, you guys are following along with me as I'm currently trying to get my CompTIA A plus and studying for it. And I just think that's such like a crazy storyline to document, especially if I failed or even if I passed. Like, it's still a good thing to show and to just have that support. So we're going to put, which of the following PC components use circuits that operate at voltage, which is up to 3.3. So I accidentally wrote down which I didn't need to do, so we're going to cross that out. So the PC components, we got this. Components use circuits. So the PC components that use, sorry, I have to use like a lot of my thinking power because I don't want to write down the actual question. I just want to write down the answer. So the PC components that use circuits that operate at voltages of 3.3, so voltages are up to 3.3. That's probably the best way I should have thought about that. I mean, I did get it right, but I did guess. And honestly, maybe if I did read it like that, I would have not got the right answer. We got NVM M2 slots. So I wonder, for them to mention M2 slots, it's making me wonder, like, what if it was an M2 slot? Or does it have to be? Maybe I'm tripping. Hold on. I think it has to be. It has to be compatible. And then we got to go with RAM slots here. Perfection. If you guys are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that like button and hit that subscribe button. I'm currently documenting every single day of me trying to learn the CompTIA, or pass the CompTIA A plus so far, and also just learn anything about IT support and hopefully land a networking engineering role. So definitely join this journey. We got PC components listed below operate on the 5V voltage rail. So which one? So I'm gonna go with the PC components. Oh, I love content. I love doing content. It's just super fun. The PC component that operates, so I have to go that operates on the 5V voltage rail is, which I ended up getting that right, which is crazy. Oh, it does say components. Okay, I was gonna say, because it says components, but then it's talking about the CPU. And honestly, that should have been easy too, because it should have either just honestly been in between the RAM slots and the USB ports, because it says which PC components with an S, but when you say graphic cards, it's like there's really only one graphics card inside of a computer, and then normally one CPU, one graphic card. So it's like to say cards as in like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could have worked, but I feel like I would have just been like, wait a second, that don't make sense. But we did end up getting that correct, which I didn't expect that either. I knew one of them was USB ports though, which is why you might see the next one and be like, why would you click USB ports? I didn't know which one was which. So I picked them for both of them, and then that ultimately made me get that wrong. Ultimately made me get that wrong. I did get an 86 on this quiz though. I did. Which of the following PC components typically draw power from the 12 voltage rail provided below? So I should have known, and I was so tempted to click mechanical parts, but I ended up screwing myself, so that sucked. That sucked. So PC components that draw power from, so typically draw power from the 12V voltage rail, which I don't even think I know what that is. I'm just assuming that that means they're drawing the voltages from the power supply, right? I think. Obviously this is a power supply quiz, so I feel like that has to be the case. So 12V voltage rail is, and then, oh wait, oops, by the power supply. Gotta make that known for future Marzi, because future Marzi might not understand this, okay? So sometimes I always gotta remind myself to write something a certain way. Because, yeah, future Marzi is just not it. So we gotta go with mechanical parts. And that's the one thing, too, is like, I have such bad memory, y'all. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's why I really gotta make sure I take these notes and I do some flashcards. I gotta instill this in my brain. Which honestly, like I said, I think hands-on, I'm good. It's just when it comes to testing quizzes, that's where I'm like, bro, I'm gonna fail. Like, I don't know. I gotta really just make sure I instill this in my head, because hands-on, I would know. Especially if you showed me to, I feel like I'll be like, oh yeah, it goes there. Or this is what this is. But when you word it a certain way, I start to fumble. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to underline, because kind of just looks like I'm writing the same thing. So DC, USB ports and devices. And then where's the answer for this one? Oh, that's just that. And then for right here, mechanical parts, graphics cards, PCI expansion cards. I'm loving this so far. Let's go on to number 8, which is talking about the ATX motherboard's 24-pin connector. I think I'm just going to write this in my own way, but the 24-pin connector, power connector, can be, so let me see. Power connector can be compatible. Wait, some power supplies feature a 20 plus 4 power pin. So, okay, let me see. Can be a 20 plus 4 power connector. It's possible to only use the 20 power connector while leaving the 4 power connector, or 4 pin. I should just say 4 pin, because saying connector is crazy. The 4 pin left out. I think that one I'm very confident on. I've seen literally, it's because I literally watched a YouTube video, and I was shocked when he did it, because I didn't know you were able to do it. But he, on the YouTube video, literally grabs his power connector. I don't remember if, I think it might have been like a 6x4, or I could be so wrong. I don't know. That's a 12. No, I don't remember. But he had something, and then he split that. I was like, whoa, what just happened? I was like, what is going on? And then he was like, make sure when you do this, you look for this section. I was like, damn. So he's the one that got me. He's the one that got me right. What did I write? I think I'm here. So which of the devices listed below would be required for a load balancing setup when supplied? Power split between multiple power supplies that automatically share the load and provide backup in case of a power supply failure. So how would I rewrite that? Would be required for load balancing. So redundant power supply would be required. That's probably the best way to do it. So that's how I'm gonna have to write that. Redundant power, and I'm just gonna have to underline it too, because this might be the first time I've ever wrote it in a way where it's going to have to be the answer. But I just think this is probably the best way for me as Marzi to understand. So let's go underline this. Power supply would be required. Yep, and then just get right into the nitty gritty. Would be required for a load balancing. But yes, I do plan a lot for today, because something I need to do for one is the website that I did end up making. I do need to end up setting that up and hosting it, but I also need to make sure that I get the images from either ChatGPT or somebody, if you were in the chat, that knows how to remake some images. Or maybe I could probably try to do it myself, who knows, which is going to take some time. So I don't think it's going to be done on Sunday. I just got to start working on it. But I do currently work a lot, because for one, I do work a regular job, but then also I'm doing this YouTube thing, I'm streaming, I'm doing all this. And then obviously I have errands that I gotta run, and I have life bills that needs to be paid, so I gotta make sure things are just set a little bit. So it's kind of gonna be a little bit too busy for me. But I do really want to get that website hosted, because I'm telling y'all, I feel like putting some AdSense on your website builds is going to just be the wave, especially because I already have, AdSense here, and I kind of understand how AdSense works when it comes to people like coming to your YouTube channel and watching and seeing. It's not like I don't make that much, like, I don't make, that much money, but the point is that I can see how that works. And I'm like, it's not bad to try to get AdSense on other things like building a website, especially because I do have that as a skill. It's just the problem is you need traffic to the website, which I think, if I'm doing website builds, that should be simple. But the point is pretty much you can't just, I guess, just add AdSense. You need to have some sort of traffic in also building websites. I'm hosting websites currently for about 6 months from the first one you've done, and then do multiple of them afterward. It says, how do you recommend someone with no experience in CS and programming to start? Are you talking about for a web dev, or are you talking about for IT? Because I feel like I have to know exactly what you're talking about. So if someone doesn't have experience in computer science and or programming, how could they start? You might be talking about for a web dev or making websites. Let me know though, because I'm not too sure. I don't want to answer it if that's not what you're saying. So I think we did number 9. So now here we go with 10. There's about 12 of them, so we should be good here. Damn, I can't believe I've been on live for this long. Hey, if y'all are new here, man, make sure you end up hitting that sub button. I'm going to be documenting literally everything that you could possibly think of when it comes to trying to become a IT support specialist and hopefully trying to become a network engineer. I know some people, they like to see, the achievement side of videos, but I'm someone where I've always been the type of person who wanted to see the behind the scenes. And if you don't trust that this is going to be something that I'm going to pursue, because there's some people who like to try things and then they quit, you guys can end up tuning into my web dev series, which I've actually done for about 200 days straight, which that's about 7 months that I documented that series, and I finally made that into a mini side hustle like I always wanted it to be. So definitely, like, that's the proof in the pudding there that I've done this previously before and stayed super consistent for super long. But hey, if you guys still don't believe me, then maybe you can come back a couple days later and I'll still be here grinding. Maybe even a couple months later, I'll still be here grinding. And make sure that I'm learning and that I'm trying everything that I'm gonna do. I will never give up on this, because I think the only time somebody fails is when they give up. Nothing other than that. I don't care if you didn't get there in 5 years. As long as you don't give up, you never failed in my eyes. And that's something that I really want to pursue. And I just really want to inspire people that you can learn whatever you put your mind to. And on top of that, you don't always need a course, or you don't always need a classroom setting. You can learn on your own time, especially if you're someone who works a full-time job like I do, and I don't really have too much time in my day, and I literally have one of the worst schedules that anything I try to do in the morning will always overlap with my job. So I can't even do a course if I wanted to. But I'm telling y'all, this channel is pretty lit. And I also have, regular edited content, so it's pretty dope. Make sure you end up tuning in. Hope you are enjoying the stream as well. Let me read the next comment. You said dev, so web development. Yes. I don't think you really do need that much experience. I feel like I didn't really have experience with CS or programming at all either when I started. So the first thing that I did when it came to web dev was I ended up just finding, I believe it was Free Code Camp for responsive web design, and that one helped me tremendously. For specifically responsive web design, I think that helped me. And then on top of that, they make you build projects that's a little bit like guided, like a classroom in a way, but obviously you're moving on your own pace. And when you build those projects, what I normally would do is after they kind of held my hand to build the project, I would then go to Visual Studio Code or however you pronounce it, and I would basically rebuild it. Even if I sucked, I would just keep trying to rebuild it until I made it right. So maybe about like 2 to 3 rebuilds of what they made me make. Obviously at first it's difficult because you don't really know how to code at all. So you're trying to sit there and like still somewhat learn. But I think Free Code Camp in the responsive web design certification and they offer a cert. It's not for some jobs it's industry standard, but you don't have to get the cert. But I ended up getting the certs. I thought it was pretty cool to just have them. So definitely I would say Free Code Camp. When it came to JavaScript, I also used Free Code Camp, but I used a little bit of the Odin project for JavaScript, and it was very helpful with the Odin project at first, and then eventually I jumped back to Free Code Camp and I did the same thing, right? Whatever I built in there, I just built outside of it and just continued to build it like frequently. So that's pretty much what I did for that. Hopefully that was helpful. But yeah, I ended up being able to make, after 7 months of learning web dev, I've been able to make that into like a mini side hustle, and it's nothing too crazy. I never really expected it to be paying the bills. My goal was to just literally land my first client. And then I feel like the fact that I'm noticing you're able to kind of monetize websites, a part of me is thinking I'm done. But like as of right now, I want to wait for the clientele aspect of things, which I already got my first client. It was somebody that I knew, so it wasn't even that much high of pay, but I was so happy to be able to do that and get that done. But my goal from now on is to try and see if I can monetize making websites. And then when I end up getting into the freelance chapter on this channel, because I plan on, doing freelance work for IT support and just kind of trying to document everything that I can when I do freelance work or independent work. And doing the websites is also going to be a part of that series as well whenever I get to that point, which should be in the near future. Like, this channel is so pre-planned, and I know it sounds so crazy now because my channel, for one, is just so small, and on top of that, I'm so far from when it's going to get to that point. But I'm telling you, like, everything that I'm saying, it's going to happen. It's legitimately going to happen. And I think it's going to just be super cool when it all unfolds, and then you kind of come back to these videos and see what my plan really was. My plans are just so much bigger than what it looks like so far. But that's because I just need to continue to grow and keep moving forward. But eventually it's all going to unfold, man. It's all going to unfold. It's going to be insane. So you got power supplies based on their efficiency. By the way, if you just ended up joining in, I am currently just took a CompTIA A, CompTIA A plus type styled questions for the power supply specifically, because I want to, honestly, I didn't think I was going to do good, which surprisingly I got an 86. I was just basically guessing the whole way through. But real quick, but the goal for me, let me just highlight that. But the goal for me, you're welcome for the tips, my guy. But I feel like the goal for me is that I pretty much want to, lost my memory. Oh yeah, so I'm taking notes, trying to make sure that I could understand like CompTIA styled questions, CompTIA style learning, and just making sure that I'm understanding that. So right now I'm taking some notes on the questions that I even got right, just because I guessed, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure that I do know exactly what the answer is. And then we're also, so far, I think a little bit before we got into this, we were studying about the operating systems. But I just want to test myself on a bit of the hardware side of things, because I was super confident with my hardware. until I started seeing the way they asked some of these questions, and I was like, damn, I think I only learned the basics. I'm like, I don't think I learned as much as I was supposed to, but that's why it's best to take these practice questions. And if you know any other areas that have different type of practice questions, whether that is with um, CompTIA or if it's just like IT support in general, definitely let me know because I want to be able to just continue to quiz myself on things in our, if you have like a guided course that you think would be super cool for me to take besides the IT Google support course, which I love the course. It's just, it's a lot. It's a lot of money. I can't believe they charge that much. But definitely let me know because I feel like that's something I would definitely be super down to go and take. So we got long term electricity cost. I could have honestly broke this down if I just read it out loud a little bit. Is it advisable to choose a power supply with a higher plus rating? Okay, I'm just gonna stop where in my tracks right there. That's fine. So we got these down. This is my final report. I can't believe it. I wonder if they have, okay, I think they do have a different one. Let's see if these have different questions. Oh, they do. But it's kind of similar. It says a power supply can accept the voltage of 110 to 120 volts of alternating, or this power supply operation can be adjusted to the supplied voltage either with the use of a manual, I think. I mean, they kind of put both of them together, but it was confusing. Which of the acronyms listed below refers to the type of electric current supplied to most of the... Oh, so they are asking somewhat of the same questions. It's just a little bit easier. Which of the following answers refers to the voltages generated by modern PC power supplies? What? I think it's these two? I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. Modern ATX can be split. Oh yeah, they're basically asking the same question, so I don't know if this is worth it. There's some of them that are new. What is the name of a device that can provide short-term emergency power during an unexpected main power source outage? I don't know. I thought it would. We're guessing. We're guessing. Which of the terms listed below refers to a server load balancing setup in which a power supply is split between two? I think they already accessed that one. Oh wait, was that two or multiple? Oh yeah, multiple. The term of modular power supply refers to a power supply equipped with detachable cables. I don't know. The power output rating of a power supply is based on a measurement unit known as watts. So we basically kind of did the same questions. Oh, I aced it? Oh, never mind. Damn, I was just wrong. So it was false. I mean, no, so it was true. Oopsies. Oh, I kind of aced it though. I know it was an 8-question quiz, but I'm not gonna hold you. I was like, some of them I did previously just learn, but I definitely was guessing. Like for this one, I had no clue. I just figured it couldn't be power supply, and I didn't know what these were. And then we kind of seen this on the last quiz, but what confused me was the minus, so I almost didn't click it. DC, we knew that. This was also on the last quiz. They kind of added things together, so I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset about that. The only thing I want to kind of write down is this though. So let me go write this part down. Is I want to make sure that I understand that modern PC power supplies voltages generated by them are this. I kind of wouldn't know that unless I, if I didn't take that last quiz, I wouldn't have known this. So I'm kind of excited that I got a good grade again. I was afraid to take another quiz because when I do that, I get sad. I get sad when I fail. So I'm happy. I'm happy I just did that. So now we got to go with the 3.3 voltage. Wait, hold on. I think I gotta hit that with the plus, right? I don't know. Let's go plus 5 V. I almost did 5.5. Thank God I didn't, but I remembered it. And then it's like plus / minus 12 voltage or whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. And then we underlined this. Perfection. So that's really the only one I think that we need. Oh, and this one right here too. So the name of the device that can provide short-term power, which I literally wouldn't know. So let me just do UPS because all I know is that that's a mailing company, okay? I don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is giving power during an unexpected power source. Like what? What are they talking about? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Okay, so UPS is the name of the device so that can provide Short-term memory. I mean, why do I keep saying that? That's probably what the hell I have. I think my inner self is trying to tell me what's going on. Because my memory is for the gutter, bro. It is for the gutter. But it's because I think a lot, y'all. I think a lot, I plan a lot. Then as I'm thinking and planning, I forget. You said, what are you doing? I'm currently taking a CompTIA styled questions about the power supply. And I feel like I kind of want to see how they're going to ask some of these questions on the CompTIA A plus. So this is specifically like CompTIA studying. I want to see how they're going to act certain things because there's stuff about hardware here that I've learned, but when they act it a certain way, I either overthink it and I screw myself. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm also somewhat studying for the CompTIA A plus as well as other things. So I got to make sure that I write this down because I F that up. So we got to go for number 15. So we got the term. That was the only one I got wrong, and I should have got that right. But I feel like for me, it's like, how many times are you gonna say something's true? Like literally, the whole last quiz was true, true, true. So I'm like, at this point, something has to be false. I didn't even care. Like I didn't even try. I just thought. So refers to power supply equipped with detachable. And this is such like this one's an easy one. Like that's why sometimes when I get certain things wrong, I'm not too upset because it's just an easy fix. It's an easy fix in all honesty. So detachable cables. I like that one. I like that one. Oh, sorry. For some reason, your message did not pop up on my phone. So I gotta read what it says on the screen. It says, just tuned in. I'm currently studying for my CompTIA A plus. CompTIA Security Plus. And are there any specific resources you would recommend for the exam? How did you find your CompTIA exam? Thanks. Honestly, in all honesty, I feel like I don't know, and I've actually been asking other people. I'm like, can someone please direct me to some good resources, and could someone direct me to a good exam? Because I heard some people don't really like this current website because they don't really give different questions. It's kind of the same questions, but I do know that this website, which is called Exam Compass, it does have security questions. Let me check first. Or you said network. You said security. They do have security practice tests here, about 24 of them. They do have a bunch of different type of ways they act certain things. I guess they have acronyms here too. And then they have a little bit of separate practice tests separately for like social engineering, security vulnerabilities. So I think this website is nice, but some people do have their concerns because once you take the quiz, let's open this one up specifically. It's about 25 questions. They're all, this. Obviously, they're going to seem new to you, but then eventually it's going to end up being the same. Every time you click it, it's going to be the same first question. So some people don't like that. But I think it's a pretty good study section if you are currently studying for that. So I this is the only thing I know for myself. So if anyone else knows in the chat, let us know. So you're doing great. I passed my A plus a couple years ago. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much. I mean, thank you. Sorry. I meant, well, you did say I'm doing great, so thank you for saying I'm doing great, but I meant to say that is pretty dope. I don't know why. I don't know why thank you so much came out as if, like, I passed the quiz. Like, but no, yes. Thank you, though, for saying that I'm doing great, but I meant to say that that's pretty dope, man, that you ended up passing it. I wonder, was it difficult? How difficult was it? That's where I get nervous. Damn, I kind of left and I'm lost. Wait, what? Where was I? Oh, yeah, because I was trying to show him over here. And then I'm trying to do something here. So we ended up doing both the power supply quizzes, which isn't bad. They have a CPU quiz, which I'm very sure I'm failing. Just very sure. It says, which of the following terms refers to the 32-bit? If it's not this, like, come on. Why would I know this? You said, what's CompTIA? CompTIA is, I guess, pretty much an exam that is, recognized. I think it's like one of the most or highly recognized exams or certifications that you can get for anything IT. CompTIA A plus can help you get into IT support positions, while CompTIA Network Plus can help with networking. Same, and then CompTIA Security can help with getting into cybersecurity or anything security, because I think there's some security stuff outside of cyber, but that's a good one to get too. And yeah, I guess the CompTIA is just more of like a highly regarded exam for certain things that you're trying to do inside of your IT learning or IT field. And then I know that there's other exams that people like to take. So for instance, this isn't a CompTIA, I don't believe, but I know the CCNA, I think that's from Cisco. they made a couple of certifications as well that are highly recognized and stuff like that. So it's pretty lit. Hello, I'm currently live still. I should be getting off soon. All right, bye. But oh look, I didn't even know WGU. Because WGU is the school, y'all, that I was talking about, where you can kind of get like your certification like really quickly. Is you still have debt that you are gonna end up going into, but that's crazy. So they it's a bachelor's degree in cloud and network engineering. You don't just graduate with a degree, you graduate with the respected certifications such as AWS, Microsoft. Also, when they do, wait, hold on. Oh, these aren't optional add-ons, they're built into the program. Oh, because I was gonna say, because with the IT classes, they also have the CompTIA A plus, Security plus, I think, Network plus in there. So I didn't know. So it's a degree that gives you certifications. That's not bad. And this one's specifically for cloud and network engineering. I just don't know if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Because what if I get this and then I can never land a networking engineering role? But it probably would still be good though for IT support, right? Because if I'm going for IT, like information technology degree for WGU, I'm pretty sure this would probably still be good. Especially if I'm trying to get into the network engineering realm. So I'm kind of considering, and cloud is really good too to learn. But they also have cybersecurity here too. But I'm thinking like this wouldn't be too bad to get into. I'm just wondering a couple of things. I'll have to do a lot of my research. I can't believe I just seen this. I had no idea that they had a cloud and network engineering degree. Wow, real hands-on and hands-on learning with practice tools, certifications included, as in the AWS is yours, Cisco, CompTIA, all integrated into your coursework. That's crazy. Tuition for the program is $8K per year. Damn. With a flat rate pricing. That's not bad though. $8K per year is not bad. There's people paying way more in literally there's people paying way more for their degrees. It says plus you could qualify for the WG's 5,000 cybersecurity college scholarship. It's flexible and it's online, y'all. That's crazy. I definitely would want to go for this. I'm gonna keep that open. I don't know, because I'm debating on going for that or doing an IT degree. Sorry, let's get back to the quiz. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, come on. If it's not X42 and it's supposed to be like times it, I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna. That's the end of me, y'all. So it says the system it has to be true because everything else has been true so far. The presence of the program files x86 folder on the C drive in MS Windows indicates that the system uses a 32-bit architecture and a 32-bit OS. I could be wrong. I actually think I'm 100% wrong. I don't think I'm gonna get even one of these right. Okay, CPU design based on an instruction set that tries to improve speed by utilizing relatively, whoa, can't speak, start over. CPU design based on an instruction set that tries to improve speed by utilizing relatively few and simple instructions are called. What? Is it this? Is it our call? Epic? A design based on an instruction set that tries to improve speed. Guys, just give me the answer. I mean, not don't give me the answer. I mean, if I pick one of these, and one of these are right, at least one. I feel like it's one of them. I could be wrong, but if it is, I think I should get it right, even though they might mark it wrong. I don't know if it's Epic or Cisc. I don't know. I haven't even heard of any of this. I'm going Epic. I'm probably super wrong. I just know I'm gonna fail this bad. But the point is that even if I fail it, I get to get the right answers after, and then I get to put them on flashcards and learn, but I'm pissed. Which of the following answers, like ARM type CPU? Okay, a lot of these I have not learned. That's straight up. Which of the following answers refers to ARM type CPU architecture? Typically used in personal settings. Focuses on simplifying the instruction, employs complex instructions for efficient memory management, commonly used in mobile devices. I don't. Is it used in mobile devices? Suitable for battery-powered devices. I've never heard of this, so it might be used in a phone because I haven't learned about phones. Typically characterized by lowered power consumption. I don't care at this point. At this point, they're asking things I don't know. A type of CPU architecture where a single physical CPU contains more than one physical processing unit. Has to be a multiprocessor. Or one physical processing unit, a modular? Yeah, no, I think multiprocessors. A set of Intel CPU hardware enhancements that enable virtualization is known as. I can't even get mad at these because I haven't learned it, but what makes me upset is like, was I supposed to learn this? Like, I'm. Because when the fuck was I taught this? Literally, I'm trying to think of my learning. When was I taught any of this? I don't know. A VTX, a Hyper-V that enable virtual. I don't even care. There's not like me rereading it isn't gonna help. I wasn't taught it. Oh yes, wait, hold on. Let me stop before I still get this wrong. But I know about AMD CPU. I do know about this one. I do know about this one. Which of the answers listed below refers to the AMD's CPU hardware virtualization enhancements? We're going AMD. Which of the following answers refers to a solution? Wait, whoa. Solutions directly aimed at improving CPU heat dissipation. Select all that apply. So CPU heat. I know there's a fan. I don't know if thermal paste does that. I think it does. Liquid-based cooling. Heatsink. No. Thermal pad? Oof. I don't know. CPU undervolting. Thermal pad or not. Thermal pad or not. I don't think it's anything else. The fuck is a thermal pad? Because if thermal paste does it, you would assume thermal pad works. But maybe it's just like you throw that pad in there. I don't know. As opposed to active cooling components like cooling fans, heat sinks are considered passive cooling components because they do not require electrical power. Hold on, so then if that's the case... Oh, it says CPU heat. So is the heat sink? There's no way there's 5 of these. An improving CPU heat dispensation. I don't know, man. Maybe it's 5. Who cares at this point? I'm gonna learn the answer after, and that's the only good thing. I don't expect to know everything on this quiz. I actually can't believe I know nothing. As opposed to active cooling components like cooling fans, heat sinks are considered passive cooling components because they do not require electrical power to operate. I feel like I chose false last time, so I'm just gonna go with true. In CPU cooling, thermal paste is applied to fill the narrow gap between I know. Oh, this is for CPU cooling. As I said, I know you put thermal paste on the CPU. But I don't know if it's the CPU in heatsink or if it's the CPU in thermal pad. I don't know what the fuck's under the CPU. I guess I'm going with that. We definitely failed this one hard. It would have been an 86. Okay, at least we got this one was false. I'm happy about that. I'm happy about my 2 answers, y'all. I'm happy about my 2 answers. Okay, we got CPU hardware enhancements. I guessed on this one. I guessed on this one too. Oh, okay, we ate this one up. We ate this one up, y'all. I'm not mad. Okay, well, I'm not mad about this question. I think we failed the quiz, but I'm not mad. I think we failed the quiz, but I'm not mad about this question. As opposed, we got true. It was CPU and thermal pad. Oh, no, it was CPU and heatsink. I was right there, though. Then that could have jumped me up to at least a 70 if I got this one right. And I was going through it. I knew it was the CPU. I just didn't know what was under it. I thought I clicked this one. Maybe I didn't. No, yeah, I didn't. I answered quickly. I forgot. Damn. But I knew it was one or the other because I knew it was the CPU and then it was going on to something. But I'm like, I don't know if it was the heatsink or the thermal. Like, why would I pay attention to what the fuck's under that? But hey, listen, now that I know, which is crazy because that definitely could have jumped me up to a 70. So I'm low-key hurt. At least a 70 I would have felt way better about. A 61 is crazy. A 61 is crazy, but I'm not mad. I'm not mad. In all honesty, I feel, oh, damn, I threw my pen. So I already took the power supply quiz. I'm gonna flip this over and probably put this down as the CPU quiz, I guess. Or CPU CompTIA styled questions. I'm super happy at the fact that I've finally kind of seen how they're gonna ask some of these questions. I'm gonna do the CPU quiz, CompTIA. I knew I should have ended it on a quiz that I aced. I should have ended it on there. But we're gonna end up retaking these quizzes, which is super fun. And I think we could see if I end up improving at the end of the day. So it refers to a 32-bit CPU architecture. I would have never guessed that it was 86. I would have at least probably done like 48. I would have never guessed it was 86. Which of the following terms refers to, so I'm gonna have to do X, let me write this in a different way. So X86, underline that so I could kind of see what the answer is. Let me read the comments real quick. So back when I was studying, I used a course by Andrew Ramdell. So I definitely got to see if I could use that. He's a really good teacher. Jason Dion and Professor Messer are practice exams. No, yes, I'm trying to do practice exams. I'm trying to learn from Professor Messer, and pretty much, I think the hardest thing to do or to learn from him is that a lot of my studying I do is on stream because I can't really study outside of stream because I work a full-time job and I work overtime and stuff like that, so it's hard to study outside of stream. Like sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So I feel like when it comes to learning his stuff, it's difficult to kind of stream that because you literally can't. Otherwise, I would get copyrighted. So it's like it's tough. Like, but that's why I gotta just make sure maybe in the beginning of my streams I could do the Professor Messer studying and stuff like that. That's probably the only thing that I could think of. So you did good. Keep it up. Man, I wish I had a 70. At least a 70. I feel like a 61 is crazy. I was just below failing. Actually, I think a 61 is failing, depending on what type of quiz you take. So CPU designed for 64-bit processing. So saying x86 refers to a 32-bit CPU architecture. I still don't even understand that. Like, why would it be x86? I need to look that one up separately. We gotta do a CPU designed. I still gotta take a couple more of these notes. But if y'all have any questions, definitely go. Actually, I'll probably do this off stream because I do have to get going. But definitely let me know if y'all have any types of questions for me. Ask me anything. I am so happy though, low key, that I did fail this quiz because the only thing that like I feel like it shows how real this entire journey is. Like there's gonna be quizzes that I pass, but there's also gonna be quizzes that I fail. I'm not sitting here claiming to be the best IT support specialist. I already know that I'm nowhere even near it. I don't even work in IT yet. Don't even work in IT. I'm still currently learning. So I feel like I'm actually super like kind of happy that that did end up happening because I think that shows the authenticity, the realness behind it. But yeah, man, definitely if y'all continue to or if y'all like this stream and you want to see more stuff like this where I take a couple of practice exams on stream, don't even care whether I get it wrong, get it right, who knows. At the end of the day, the point is to try and understand the way they might frame a question and see if I can end up learning it in the near future. Of course, I plan on doing flashcards and different things like that, so it's gonna get super cool, pretty lit around this time. So definitely let me know if y'all have any resources, anything. It would be great. What I'm probably going to do, like I said, is before stream or in the beginning of my streams, I'm probably going to do Professor Messer's courses where I'm just gonna have the phone kind of propped up with my earphones plugged in, listening to what he's saying, and then just kind of show myself studying. But I'm so happy, man. We took 2 quizzes. We aced the first 2. We got 86 for the first one. I think we got a 90 for the second one. But when it came to the CPU, man, there was just a couple of questions that I don't recall. I don't recall, like, ever trying to figure that out. But, hey, it is okay. We got a couple of new subscribers that ended up popping up on my screen about an hour ago. It only shows 1 person, though. I don't know if it was just 1. Maybe I'm tripping. Oops, I clicked it. Let's see if it plays on the screen again. Oh no, it's not. Oh wait, no. Let me click it again. I think the sound is playing though, so I'm so sorry. Damn, it still won't show. Never mind. I guess that's fine. But thank y'all so much for tuning in and enjoying this live stream. I hope that we made some new supporters, and I want y'all to know that my intentions with this channel is simply to inspire people to get up and learn whatever you want to go and put your mind to, that you could do whatever you put your mind to. And the goal of this channel is to just document different chapters of me learning a bunch of different things. Our first chapter was web development. Our second chapter is learning IT support. And whenever we get into IT support, what is up, Mole? What is up? And whenever I get into IT support, I plan on hopefully getting into network engineering. But then from there, the goal is we're probably gonna transfer a little bit of the content, but not too hard. I want to make it more from there after we start touching a little bit more into IT support and I land a couple of certifications. I hope to document my journey of going to online college so I can literally show y'all me on live, probably have the camera back here of me taking a couple of not quizzes because I think they're proctored, but I could let y'all know when I have an exam coming up and stuff like that. And I think that's going to be a cool little journey to document as the college. I just need to figure out what degree do I want to go for. Do I want to go for the cloud and network engineering degree? Or should I go for the IT support degree? And, because either way, I just feel like getting the cloud and network engineering could possibly help me way more get into network engineering. So I'm kind of like, I want that because I really want to become a network engineer. You said, do you want to learn other than I think you're asking what do I want to learn other than web dev? I'm assuming also other than IT support because that's currently what I'm doing now. I think other things that I would like to get into, I have a long list and it's also not within tech. Because whenever we get into more of like the deeper chapters years down the line, I plan to not keep it 100% tech if the plan decides to go through. Because what if like especially if I'm working as a network engineer or working in IT, I might just want to continue to make content about that because that's what I'm working at. So who knows? It really depends on me. But I personally would like to learn things like I want to get better at cooking. I would like to do things. I would like to write a ebook or something. So like I guess learn how to write certain things and make certain things come out. I would want to learn how to. There's like a bunch of different things. I would want to learn how to draw, and document that journey. I would want to learn how to. I don't know. There's a bunch. There's a bunch of different things I would love to learn and kind of document it as a journey. But mainly, right now, I feel like the best thing for me to do with the channel is kind of focus on something that's career wise. And then once I kind of land that career, then from there I can learn everything else. So that's why I would hope that, obviously these are years down the line though. So if you're someone who's here for the IT support stuff, this IT support stuff is probably going to be here for about a year or two straight. Like me trying to stack certs, learn this, learn that. And I'm just going to tell y'all everything that I've been going through. So it's super fun. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. This was, I hate leaving. I hate leaving y'all. It's just so fun. I love chatting, even though like, it's not like that much stuff being said, but I know that there's people here who are watching and like, listening, and I just love being able to talk. As y'all can tell, I've been talking for 2 hours straight, bro. This is crazy. But thank you for tuning in. I will like to say though, if you are here, make sure you go and tune into my website build, unless that's where you already came from, then hey, that's what's up. But tune into my website build, and I should have a video coming out tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST, so please go and tune into that one. This is Marzi, signing off day 41. We'll be catching y'all tomorrow for day 42. Deuces. Love y'all. Y'all are amazing. It's super goated. Always gotta remember that one. Deuces.